As we arrived at the assembly for yet another attempt to complete our payments, we met a woman seated quietly in front of the building. What looked like an ordinary visit would soon reveal a story that exposed the cruelty of the system we had come to investigate. She was an illegal miner. Her machines had been seized earlier this morning, and like many before her, she had come here in desperation, not for justice, but for permission.
Na oye adwuma wan. Yeah, we excuse.
Excuse you can you go. Small time.
One leg.
Catch him say galamsey no ho. So met meja ya just ombo obi ku no move to as ayi versus soldier for the helicopter enam wiem no meja bomb ato na blast obi aku no. And yes, I am forget. MPP ni NDC omu nyina ye galamsey. Se se ka se MPP NDC na wo so. Galamsey se ko so. Enso na ni beti ente. Message se ye nya ban a won pe galamsey. Ti se ono abokene Japan a won nye galamsey no. Ene nko fo na ni MPP fo kwa no wo chi wo mugum. NDC no wo chi wo mugum. Ni abu bi tietie bia ya ni blast bi. Yes, I forget. Expose ye pia bontin. Mesu ye mbe shi bruta. Boni wo ni patrim o. Boni oba ni patrim. Nipa bese edi bone a wonim sade a woye na onim se onanye so onim onim se de woye ne bone nipa behwe din no waje bone so correct pa tie komo a yekoso ni hwade asi e wo galamsey ni uyam kura ba shi bruta
sambe jande o mo kire se wutua 3000 a e twa 1 year
red. It's becoming more like a mafia situation where if you are not very careful, it's going to engulf all of us.
Ghana's Galamsey fight has a hidden engine, a pay-to-destroy syndicate operating in the shadows.
Me as eeii, mama na start when you're not
If somebody must be in prison, it's those district chief executives and ministers and others who are doing the galamsey.
Ghana's illegal mining crisis has taken a darker turn. Despite promises, policies and political declarations, the destruction rages on. Our rivers run brown, our forests are hollowed out, and our communities choke on poisoned water and abandoned pits. For years, illegal miners have been blamed. But what if the real crisis is not merely the illegal miners, but an institutional marketplace where government officials turn environmental destruction into a revenue stream?
Tax forces can never be said as fighting illegal mining, but rather extracting monies and creating problems.
In this documentary, we expose the coordinated extortion scheme, now an organized network involving district authorities, NADMO officials, and a district chief executive himself. A network stealing from the people, enabling illegal mining, and accelerating the environmental genocide unfolding across forests and river systems in the Amansie Central District of the Ashanti region.
They have actually also more or less evolve certain methods, certain technologies where they can combine all manner of metals and cause damage to the brain. They can cause damage to the kidneys. They can cause damage to the liver. They can cause damage to the lungs. They can cause damage to the gastrointestinal tract. And the eventual effect is that this patient may end up developing cancers.
If the president is so minded in fighting illegal mining, then it should start with his appointees. And by appointees, I always refer to the MMDCs, because many of them are neck deep in galamsey corruption.
According to the Forestry Commission, 44 out of 288 forest reserves have been invaded and harmed. Beneath the crisis are acts of bribery and corruption, illegal payments, extortion, sanctioned by those elected and appointed to protect our resources. Our investigation began as whispers of an organized extortion scheme kept resurfacing, with stories shared quietly among miners who speak only in cautious tones. The fragmented accounts pointed towards a task force allegedly operating under the authority of the District Chief Executive of Amansia Central, Emmanuel Obeng Ajeman. According to the patterns we observed, miners were said to be paying 3,000 Ghana cedis for every Chanfan machine, one leg as it is termed, while others pay 30,000 Ghana cedis and more for every excavator in usage. Our investigation also uncovered receipts and warrant stickers being issued to guarantee uninterrupted illegal operations when payments were made.
The whole issue, I no more country and the police for them. Even though it's all my years more for the senior, the mind, and the woman that will see that says Scavita 700 million. So, if I know the point, and only idea, and I can't ensure what the form of us with
These allegations demanded the deeper inquiry, but our strongest evidence came from a recorded phone call with the District Chief Executive. In the tape, he confirms that the task force collects monies and that it operates under his instructions.
Assembly may as eeii mama na start when yana so onkonko ye. One of mining desk officer. It is a akwanya ten osi yana na enye dia fine ye ka ho asem. E na meka jo say the benya o raise complaints here. Or started ejuma we almost 1 month on one leg no. Miners are on your encounter. Ah, my friend no. Omo bro 20. Omo friend encounter. Obi a wa friend bi eni ho a me ma people on dia friend malam. Me ka che na say ene ne nko kasa. Na yama na 2 minutes onje.
It is at this point that we confirm the cash payment in exchange for galamsey. Undercover, we infiltrated the Jakobu Township, the seat of the District Assembly, posing as illegal miners operating at Eskesu, one of the mining communities. It is time for us to uncover the loot. We secretly filmed every process and navigated the community on motorbikes. The assembly is where we intend to make payments and confirm every illegal mining scandal. Our undercover operation led us to Philemon, a receptionist at the District Assembly. He greeted us and with apparent willingness agreed to help us procure a warrant sticker for our galamsey operation. He called one district engineer who would later send us contact to the mining desk officer himself.
After
good afternoon.
Boss Macho, okay, your baby to stick out.
Okay, to stick out. Auntie, onim, mame, ode mu odi on. Mame ne Miss Officer Lenkasa why? It is no man other man na money ne padakasa why?
All right.
Yeah, to stick out.
Hours passed as we waited for the mining desk officer and leader of the task force, a man known interchangeably as Red, Malam or Nana, who also served as the community's chief imam. Our wait was prolonged because he was reportedly out on an operation collecting the tax from illegal miners. Payments were allegedly collected on Mondays and Wednesdays alone. Later, we managed to speak with the head of the mining desk on phone. He confirmed the 3,000 Ghana cedi payments for Chamfan machines and instructed us to wait for his arrival, which was very uncertain.
Pacho Chamfan bako.
Chamfan na uka.
Pachani.
One leg, you know.
Batani.
We have a man, bro.
But
the fire, yeah.
The fire.
No, the fire,
A better na ke pesi kobe bikakra.
45 minutes to 7 minutes.
Wow. Asem. Okay, na kabekwa ni ntumi nhia o. Because ye be say nke kokuma ase.
Okay,
it's weird you would say that a state that has called, irresponsible mining terrorism is then at the same time facilitating this through what is seemingly even state sanctioned, right? Because there are receipts that are involved. It means that the state infrastructure is accounting for its support and its own implications into it. So it's a strange arrangement where the state now is in itself an illegal miner.
Our investigation points to serious breaches of the law by state officials entrusted to protect the public. Under the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, facilitating or providing cover for illegal mining constitutes a criminal offense. Evidence gathered shows that officials who offered protection and collected payments may have crossed the line from regulators to accomplices. These actions potentially violate the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, which criminalizes corruption and abuse of public office, as well as the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, which prohibits unauthorized collection of public funds. The conduct of the District Chief Executive also raises questions under the Local Government Act 2016, Act 936, while the environmental damage may contravene the Environmental Protection Agency Act 1994, Act 490. With our investigation at the assembly corroborated, we proceeded to some of the illegal mining sites at Eskesu. Here, the environmental destruction is starkly evident. Farmlands are gone, water bodies choked with sediment. At Eskesu, we met some illegal miners who detailed the exact process for making payments for Chamfan machines.
One machine money about 20,000.
Into no excavator bako
30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 300 million.
Answer.
One, and this would tell me, no, but doing 50,000, 60,000. Wow.
And I Chamfan
is 3,000.
That's a no kind of sound.
And no kind from a year, but this year you have from your Saturday Ghana or money, but this year you know, master to be anybody. I know master TV.
I know your wine policy excavator 3,000 in wine policy.
Your policy, yeah. A best system. Not just the MPP come and the system. Also, oh man, my new program saying a blast was a nobody. I do is a wish you cannot. So much I say, I do yes here. I'm going to get the phone number. I do miss a galam saying in the end course. So, I think I'm something Reverend.
The president needs to crack the whip on MMDCs within their localities. They are the superintendent heads of whatever happens at the local level. And mind you, Galamsey is not happening in Greater Accra. It's happening in the hinterlands. The communities where these MMDCs are caretakers and they hold power within that locality.
The consequences of this alleged extortion is palpable. While the country grapples with the Galamsey crisis, the Amansia Central District becomes a microcosm of how corruption can paralyze progress. This miner, Kofi Wusu, angry yet helpless, told us that his men were arrested because he hadn't paid to register his machines.
Red. And the bed is coming. Makulata. More than 3 hours. That time I'm about before bed at 9:30 to 8 o'clock to I have back and now almost almost 3,000. I'm my receipt in your forgery paper. 5 days to require December January. Now what can be 1 year 30 million now 5 days 2 months.
How much is 30 million?
3,000. Me, how much me bra? One machine, you have 3,000. I will have. one machine be 3,000. Me mo pa mo fa me nkwantara ka mu enko Jacobo district wo. Me red. Me just red. Ona be kama me o se na yan fa ne red ya fa na imam. De ko si aye nyina ye divide ye say. In say nipa na tutu na ba wo so obeboa wo de. Sen ye nka ya sempa. Ye nyina ye decide say a month or so 2 million. Yeah. Me dia me de. So what dia. Ah ye ni mu say odotobu ya de obi mfi akire ensa me ha ye bi. Any 2 weeks or any week go na red go so buy. Red the catch right say esuru wono na adwuma na so no. National security for adwuma.
At his site, the extent of destruction is overwhelming. Forest reserves torn apart, farms buried under mud. Yet, he operates freely because he has paid to destroy the land.
Police too, police for mo saving for. Aye nim say you am police for me you look am. Banya police ni na be show red na nkasa na so wonsa. O wi an odo ama police na police e lead. Me say me nkasa say.
Na woni pa no meja.
Oh, you 3,000 answer no mu ja no. Asa no say ache me bra fan yi. Ono so sa onu e go bia machine say me machine for. So
at mile 9, one of the communities near the Koboro section of the Apaprama Forest Reserve, the sounds of these Shamfan machines are loud. We posed as new miners seeking guidance. These two illegal miners welcomed us with the frankness of people long accustomed with working outside the law.
I know that you are bad, but so who from before. Oh, no, Monocasa. I said, I'm not tired, ma. My job, but I'll be a better you say. Oh, yeah, besides. The Acadian, I'm more the Acan, only assembly for and Thomas. How can I go my children? I didn't know my channel. I'm by besides the people who have found. Ne ma mi no obi asu no on traka mi en ha de wabonten anu anu sonsan Jacob e kwa e kokotua e dru anso so de obi a mo heda ma ase de o mo betaka obi se bia o mo bagiska na se bia bisa
and tutua 3,000 na mutu ko tua zen
3,000
purchase of one leg sticker for 3,000.
As we arrived at the assembly for yet another attempt to complete our payments, we met a woman seated quietly in front of the building. What looked like an ordinary visit would soon reveal a story that exposed the cruelty of the system we had come to investigate. She was an illegal miner. Her machines had been seized earlier this morning, and like many before her, she had come here in desperation, not for justice, but for permission.
Na oye adwuma yeah, we excuse.
I say excuse you can you go. Small time.
One leg. Yeah, oh. Africa never shall say.
According to no so means the machine is here. This might be trying to be trained.
She told us that the district chief executive himself had directed her to return only after seeking approval from Red, the very man orchestrating the illegal collection.
DC. DC with me at
Institutions are not working. The institutions are implicated. And politicians have figured out that, you put few party cronies in these institutions, then the entire machinery blocks.
We returned to the district assembly to make our payment. This time, we were directed to the revenue office where we met Benjamin Akono, a revenue officer. We presented ourselves again as illegal miners seeking to register our Chamfan machines.
The impunity supported by local authorities who are supposed to be fighting this. So which policeman or woman is going to fight that? No, nobody is going to fight it because the head of the District Security Council is endorsing it.
But on this day, payment could not be made. The task force, we were told, was conducting sweeps for miners who had not yet paid for their machines.
Mining for me and the church.
Oh.
Our final day of the investigation arrived. We were now ready to do the unthinkable, which is to pay for the registration of a Chamfan machine that only existed for the purpose of our investigation. This time, Benjamin leads us into the residence of Red, where the transaction would begin, not the district assembly. Inside Red's residence, a surprise awaited us. We met two NADMO officers, including the deputy NADMO director for the municipality. Everyone was here for one reason: to buy stickers that permit illegal mining.
Chairman, you were you. My wedding, I will remove. The boss, you will only make. Baba will move.
If they were never catch us, any of the office.
We are seated, waiting for Red. We count our 3,000 Ghana cedis ready to be handed over to him for our stickers and receipts. Red arrived after 30 minutes. Funds were forbidden in his inner office, where we will meet him. Search is conducted, even on NADMO officers who are accomplices. After 30 minutes of engagement, Red directed that Benjamin leads us to a rural bank where final payments will be made. On our way to the bank, we engaged Benjamin further. He explains why we will not be giving a sticker, but a bank receipt to affirm payments. Benjamin further confirmed how millions of cedis are taken from miners who operate on water bodies. He says the prices are fixed at the assembly.
Tibuye wonsu ma be tia be say.
Ba mo chima jin ba ha bia. Sika be dia dia. I don't know what I say. Who do you say or the price? Who you say or the price? The price. That's the situation of my yard for said what that. Yeah, what the price?
It's assembly now kasa creative prices at all for baby a wo ye adwuma.
I said the fix na fish what about.
No, 16,000 you know, for machines, man.
Why do I do 6 years? I did this more.
And then the board.
Filming every aspect of payment with precision, Benjamin leads us into the rural bank. At the bank, Benjamin himself took the 3,000 Ghana cedis and deposited it into an account labeled Main IGF. Every step was filmed, he receiving the cash, filling the deposit slip, and even the teller processing it. Benjamin made photocopies of the bank receipt and handed a copy to us. We have now successfully purchased registration. Proof that this was not an unofficial backdoor operation but an organized, systematic revenue pipeline built into official financial structures. The deeper we went into the investigation, the more we uncover the extortion network. This time, we visited the NADMO office hours later. Here, we met Evans Amankwa, the municipal NADMO director, the same officer whose men we had earlier seen at Red's residence. He welcomed us without hesitation, fully aware of our mission because one of his men had told him about us. He inspected the receipt we had from the bank.
Well, outfit here, in my reclamation. To say 194, most of my problems, Cassie. Normally now, I'm the baby, I'm free grateful for machine bay area, I'm not for a long catasso. On the cata, we also one son. The bad operations, so I love it. So, the one country be
This direction was to confirm the amount to be taken. His officer, in another meeting room, requested that 2,000 cedis be paid to avert any ambush from NADMO officials.
Next week. See, next week Monday nearby Nanka. I've been director so you've been yabani. Say, name and budget 1,000 Nanka for the 1,000 Nanka in Nanka Sassay and the way Danas Nanka Monday in Nanka.
After negotiating, he agreed to the 1,000 cedis. This was paid to the lead negotiator at the director's office. A sticker available to us is dated 18 August 2025 and marked number 097, which belongs to one of the miners.
Where date now was 18 August 2025.
Master Chia say
3,000 per each. If you are two, the back or boy back.
Mutia 6,000.
6,000.
So we know what the ball machine are mobile then on me.
Almost a more than 6 months. The over date now, January almost have a couple from
one leg, you know. Yeah. Last meeting, you know. Almost I say, yeah, started. And yet, and charge it most sticker. In addition to excavator. And see, I come and see, but not gazetting. And I was and Sana, yesterday, I did it. And after that meeting, no, me and Mama authorization so mon 20 stickers, no. Na on my site. Na the woman year, no. A year, I think 6,000 or so.
One leg, no.
Yes. Now it's 3,000 for every 6 months. And I'm almost a year last 6 months of the year. First part, no, I share. And a year. And sometimes it's kind of hot. And I almost did it.
This offends 1,000 regulations and more. Not only in terms of financial management within the country, in terms of approvals that need you to be engaged in a business endeavor like this, but it's and this is one of the things that I'm actually also interested in seeing the repercussions of this. Whether or not what you're going to find is that these are monies that are going into the assembly's coffers, or that the assembly itself has transformed itself into some agent that is just doing private business, using the facade of the assembly to cover.
Knowing the damage these machines could cause to the land, the DCE insisted on why the payment must be done.
In fact, one leg in India, Yamian Ukraine. Munchashi, but Mupa,
education behind my sir, John the Maker. Who was that?
And Nunti and assembly, I was a started a taxi one leg. When you say, and I'm say one leg and then taxi or Montino. I'm more using what is like a sitting in a guy to toss more Chinese and then on the edge.
What you call inchoate liability, which means that those who support, promote, assist in any way any of the offenses that are committed against the environment in terms of galamsey, you are as responsible as the persons who are participants in it and can go to jail to the same level. And my hope is that, in fact, for those who are public servants or public officials who are implicated in this, that they suffer twice the penalty.
The argument of raising funds for internally generated activities, to me, is bogus. You do not use criminal activity to raise funds at the local level. It's just like saying that when armed robbery is rife and the municipal assembly needs to tax armed robbers to generate funds internally for projects within the area. This is a criminal act.
Illegal mining in Amansia Central is not merely tolerated, it is administered, it is prized, it is receipted, it is banked, and it is protected by the very people sworn to stop it. The fight for Ghana's environment, for its water, for its future, cannot be won if the fight against galamsey.
For aha Konaba television. A free enekuri Tuesday bia ya wada bia anase kwesiada ebia sa 3 days me yesi wo se meko live aye live program. Eye Ghana time no 7 p.m. na ye wo live. That is 2100 CAT. In 2 person who live program now we interactive with Asia. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays at 7 p.m. Ghana time, 2100 CAT. That is Central African time. Near our live, our Equanaba television, so YouTube. Into fatu trim, na join your page. Say be ya, ubenya program ni biya hinti. Kai so ben like a page, you know, no me adomanis for notification. Subscribe to channel way for more update. Medase.
Hello, Busiafo. Happy New Year to all my customers. Yamin Shamo. Someone made a job from January to December. I see a fifu frame. Yamin Shamo Nina be brave. Na me kai come see you kuswa ye juma. And to say wo persifita, I stretch out for I'm on love dear and one unique laser whitening product. Your toothpaste in the enuni, mama bedroom what dance any tea stains, coffee stains, smoking stains, bia, unique laser whitening product. Ebe yeni every summer, come. Do you understand what you so? Now would you go or brush and so? And then now did you choose in come 2 minutes. So we'll pay your laser and so. And also enoni. The yana say oh apply gel no ever was so. Now wash your tray no. Or connect your mobile phone. 16 minutes. Pepe. Now I'll rinse it when no. Bear in mind that this product is not suitable for pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, and children under 18 years. To know for a unique laser whitening, I was 079-9979-2330. Unique laser whitening. Or say Muni Sesu.
Pro Technologies and American Farmer Annie Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yes, on ESA install CCTV cameras in the Sour Ghana and NASA brochure now for Ghana. Now best CCTV camera installation. We need Pro Technologies and in South. We use CCTV camera installation, electric fence, automated gate, access control, video doorbell. Opadia, man, none wants to that form. Near general construction. So pesi si di mau say ya bansoro. Then tia so washasie na pesi the bow and after na pesi sidima wono woni en emisa woso ne de wo ni se ye no yina ne wabochimemu ha ene branch e wa Ghana na eni mo bra wo bre enti so sika fa ensemu a sro bia nim wo dad da e de bi apese osi play bia and which is so here solar power and abamba ho sensem bia de oni Pro Technologies emisa woso ye smart home aba fu fidie bi apese hye wo fi ana intercom e bi hujuma ene essential interior decoration yes ufie na mawo ana wa si ufie na pese siesi hodoma wo se eye office ye betwa ho neat ne wo car tracker ana GPS how betimi dia track your car bibia car na nam bia wo betima hwe e wo phone so and which is so fidie bi na wo hu ko e first install ana ne settings ye beye e dia Ghana. Your Ghana office ewo Ashie, Adenta Dodo Road, Yane CBG, and the DNMShe. For information or WhatsApp +1 401 75 70 300 and +1 401 69 92 254. Pro Technologies. Customer satisfaction is our topmost priority.